Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Now I'm taking another look at the Sony ZV E10 II that we have here. Now I've done various videos, I've done videos about its photography features, its hybrid features. Today I just want to take a brief look at how great it is for video. Now many people are buying this camera as a hybrid camera, but they're using it a great deal for video. And one of the reasons they're using it for video is the same reason I bought it for. It shoots 10-bit internal video, 10-bit 422 to a great codec. It's XAVCS codec, it's a Sony codec, works really well. And it's got the Sony 26 megapixel sensor and processor, which is the same processor and sensor in the Sony FX-30 that we have here. And the FX-30 is basically twice the price, maybe just under twice the price. It's £500–700 more than what the ZV E10 II as a body only would be. And it's a great addition to the FX-30 if you already have the FX, which as you can see I do. And I use them both in the studio here. Now, the big advantage with the FX-30 over the ZV E10 II is the fact it's got two SD card slot stroke CF Express Type A card slots, where the ZV E10 II only has one SD card slot, and it has image stabilization and a cage. And also a built-in fan, and there are other features that it has, but the ZV E10 II I think is a great alternative to the FX-30 if you are not doing high-end professional stuff, or even if you are doing high-end professional stuff but you want a B camera, because the image quality from the ZV E10 II will be the same, if not exactly the same. It's going to be very similar, indistinguishable between the FX-30. So I can highly recommend the ZV E10 II as a video camera. Now, it hasn't got a built-in fan, so that's one big issue with the ZV E10 II for long-form content. But I use a Ulanzi fan. I've got my Ulanzi fans running on my original ZV E10 over there, and I've got the Ulanzi fan on my Sony A7 IV that is getting the close-up shot. Now the A7 IV is notorious for overheating. Since I've been using the Ulanzi fan, I've had no issues with overheating. I've set the fan to automatic and the camera hasn't overheated. So it's the same with my original ZV E10. That hasn't overheated either. So using the ZV E10 II in 25p 4K, which is what I do in the UK here, I've had no overheating issues using this camera in a studio here and in a theatre. It hasn't overheated. So it complements my FX-30 beautifully. As far as image stabilization, I don't use image stabilization here in the studio because they're on a tripod. So when I'm doing content pieces to camera like this, then I don't have an issue using the ZV E10 II as a main video camera whatsoever. I don't have any issues with that at all. Now, it has got the 26 megapixel sensor E-mount, so I've got at the moment mounted my Viltrox 33mm f1.4 lens fitted to it. Again, a great lens here in the studio because it mimics the look of what you get with a full frame body. At the moment, my A7 IV is getting a close-up shot with a Sony 50mm f1.8 fitted. And you can see there it's got lovely bokeh, it's thrown the background out of focus, but I would be able to achieve exactly the same, or if not very similar sort of shot, a shot that nobody would be able to really tell the difference between the ZV E10 II with a 33mm lens on compared to a Sony A7 IV with, say, a 50mm lens on, because the 33 is going to mimic pretty much a 50mm look. This is going to be about 54–55mm once you've done it, times it by 1.5 to take into account the crop factor. Now, it's got a 3-inch articulating screen, so that is awesome for video. So you can actually, obviously if you're doing vlogging, you can see what you're doing, or even if you're not doing vlogging, you just turn the screen towards you. So you can still see what you're doing. Again, I use it in the studio here. I do use external monitors via the HDMI. I find that for me is better because they're bigger monitors and it's better for my eyesight. So Yeah, really, really good. For video, you've got your tally lamp on the front, and you've also got your red record frame around the screen. So very, very good. And it's got the red record button on the top, so ever so easy to get to. Nice handling, nice grip. So that is great again if you're doing vlogging, and also it isn't a heavy camera. The FX-30 is quite a chunk. That's quite a heavy beast. Fine for running on using it on a tripod, but not great for doing long form handheld content with the FX-30 because it's quite heavy. Certainly for me, it has got the rocker switch on the top. Again, that's really useful if you're using power zoom lenses. I quite often mount my power zoom 18-105 lens on my ZV E10 Mark II because it has got that power zoom. You can use a rocker switch. Now, I don't do zooming while I'm filming. I don't like the effects, but I use a rocker switch to recompose the image. So if I'm doing a wide shot and then I want to do a zoomed in shot, I can recompose just using the rocker switch and then start filming again. 10-bit video recording, 10-bit 422, so it's a great codec, great for color grading, great for green screen. And I say that's the same as what's in the FX-30. Only one SD card slot on the ZV E10 Mark II, where the FX-30 has the two, but they've positioned it on the side of the camera, which is great because on the original ZV E10 that was in the battery compartment, but now it's on the side of the camera. So again, if you're using it on a tripod and you're doing a lot of video content, it's great that you can get to the SD card nice and easily now, where you couldn't quite so easily before. So yeah, a great little video camera, and great, you know, compact little video camera. Plenty of third-party lenses as well as Sony lenses available for the Sony E-mount. I say I've got my favourite lens here for working in the studio. If I'm using this as a close-up camera, is my 33mm lens. I use it a lot with my Sigma 10-18. If I'm going out and about taking photographs, I'll use it with a Sigma 10-18. That's a lovely lens. That paired with the 18-50 that I've got on my original ZV E10, it's a great combination. So if you're going out somewhere, take this lens and the 18-50. They're the only two lenses you're probably going to need, unless you're doing sports or wildlife, where you do want a telephoto lens. But yeah, great lenses. Really like these lenses. Lovely image quality, constant f2.8 aperture as well. So they match each other beautifully because both lenses have got that constant aperture, and they work great with the ZV E10 Mark II. It has got the multi-interface shoe as well. I use all the time for mounting Sony microphones, or well, predominantly Sony microphones. So you can put in your wireless microphone or your gun mic on there and not need cables. And even DJI actually make a tiny little adapter for using the DJI mics with the Sony system without having to use cables. So I think that is really awesome. FZ100 battery, again, marvelous for video content because it is so lasts for ages, just goes on and on. I think that is really good. But again, here in the studio, I would power it via USB-C, like I am with my ZV E10 there, either via a USB block or into a V-lock battery. I've got that plugged into a V-lock battery. But better still, to reduce the build-up of heat, use a dummy battery. I've got a D-tap dummy battery going into my A7 IV, and that goes into the block, my well, I think it's the K&F Concept V-lock battery I've got fitted to that one, and that way you're not building up heat. USB-C power delivery does tend to generate heat for some reason, I don't know why, but if you use a dummy battery, that again will reduce the amount of heat that is likely to build up in the camera. No video record limit on the ZV E10 Mark II. That is a great feature again for me, and for when we're out filming shows, because the show will go on, well, each half in two halves, probably about an hour and a half, hour 15 minutes for each half. So that is wonderful, but this will just keep on going. The ZV E10 Mark II, fantastic little hybrid camera, very compact, lovely monitor, but I say no viewfinder. But again, for video, I don't think that many of us use a viewfinder for video. You will find it a bit of an issue in daylight probably, but I've sort of cured that as well. What I've done, I've pre-assigned the bottom right hand button, the trash can button for bringing up the monitor brightness. So if I push that in, it brings up monitor brightness there, you can see there, and then I can adjust that to sunny weather, and then when it's on sunny weather the monitor is brighter. Now on the original ZV E10 and most of the other Sony cameras, it bleached, so you could only use it for composing your image. You couldn't use it for checking clarity and checking brightness because everything looked overexposed. They've cured it with this one, but it's still lovely. You can still check the highlights and shadows and make sure you haven't, you know, ruined your exposure, even in the sunny mode. So they've cured that, brilliant. So you can use that, and that's really good in bright sunlight. Still not perfect, but it's pretty damn good. So yeah, really like the camera, and I love the handling. It's a really nice camera, a great investment and a great tool for using for video like I'm doing here. So there we go. That's another quick look at the Sony ZV E10 Mark II. Now, I will leave some still images on my Flickr page. I've got some on the computer here, but I haven't gone through. I've gone through these in a separate video actually. But as a photographic camera, very briefly, it is great. It's a great little photographic camera. No image stabilization, as I've said before, in the body, but most lenses do have it, or a lot of lenses have in-lens image stabilization from all the different manufacturers. And it is only electronic shutter, not mechanical shutter. But under vast majority of lighting conditions, you're going to get some lovely images, and they're really sharp and they're really gorgeous. I will leave a link to my Flickr page where you can take a look at the images closer rather than studying them on my YouTube channel, because I'm not actually going through them. So there we go. I hope you found that video useful. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Hit the like button if you like the content of this video. Would really appreciate that. And remember to share it if you think other people might find it useful. That would be fantastic as well. Thanks very much. Cheers for now. Bye.